Hi, and welcome to How They Funded It, a podcast series powered by British Business Bank. In each episode, we'll be meeting founders who've unlocked the right kind of funding at the right moment and used it to bring their business vision to life. I'm Lesley Williams, and today I'm joined by Steffan Hughes, the founder of Sgiliau, a fast-growing network of children's play centres in Carmarthenshire. Steffan is a hands-on founder overseeing multiple businesses and juggling everything from supplier relationships to staff support and budgeting. For Sgiliau, he recently secured a £100,000 loan to help deliver a final phase of standout new space, including special effects, lighting and high-spec design touches that give the play centre a unique wow factor. In this episode, we'll talk about thinking behind that funding decision, what it took to secure the loan, and how investing in experience and aesthetics has paid off in a competitive local market. If you're wondering how funding can help you to go the extra mile and stand out, this one's for you. Let's jump in. Hi. How you doing, Steffan?
Yeah, good, thanks.
Good. So tell us a little bit about you, your background, and what inspired Sgiliau.
Well, I come from a teaching background. I taught in a primary school for 10 years. And whilst I was teaching for the last couple of years, I set up some holiday clubs and some multi-skills clubs that I was doing in the evening. And such was the demand and the buzz for it at the time, I decided I'd go for it full time. So I left my teaching post, which I was very happy in, a Welsh school in Llanelli, Dewi Sant. And then started my journey then into business then. And I didn't really know at the time what I was letting myself in for, really. I knew that I could teach and inspire children and motivate them, especially in the physical activity world. So I just stuck to my guns and stuck to what I knew initially, and was offering holiday clubs, multi-skills clubs, girls-only clubs. And then I branched then into the education sector. So I was going into schools maybe where they didn't have PE expertise, and then offering my services as a PE teacher in those schools. And it grew pretty quick over the first couple of years. And we grew to a team of 4 or 5 coaches as well as myself. And we were facilitating then lessons and clubs from Aberystwyth up in Ceredigion down as far as Tenby in Pembrokeshire, and then across into schools in Neath Talbot area. So we captured that side of the market. And then during this time, I was obviously traveling a lot between these different spaces. And I thought that it would benefit me then and my coaches if we had one main facility, and rather than us traveling around the schools, that the schools and the clubs could be held from one central location. But I didn't appreciate at the time how hard it was to find a space. So my hunt took me to various places in Carmarthenshire, and I ended up stumbling across, I'm not saying old, maybe an aging play centre in Carmarthen. And the old ladies had been there nearly 10 years, and they were looking for a way out. And the first conversation we had was, well, no, I've never been in a children's play centre. I don't have children. I'm definitely not the man for this. But then you start thinking, and I think I've got quite a creative mind, and what I've learned is over the last 10 years, maybe I didn't appreciate it at the time, is that you can spot gaps and try and fill them. And with any business, I think if you can solve people's problems, that will in the long run look after your business. And then I thought at the time in Carmarthen we didn't really have a standout play centre. So I thought, well, if I did take over this and give it a good refurb and get some cool features in there and encapsulate the market that I had already from the education side, I thought we'd be onto a winner. So that's how it started. And obviously COVID hit 6 months into that journey. So, and it was unfortunate really, the education side of the things came to a bit of an abrupt end, because we were just told overnight that you can't go into schools. And then I did start to rebuild that side of the business coming out of COVID. And I ended up moving it on. I sold my contracts to one of my colleagues at the time, who was more than capable and who was running sessions himself. So I thought, you know what, this is the start you need. You can take this on, and I'm going to put my both legs into trying to develop this play centre.
Good for you. I know you've already done a lot of background work towards getting to that point, so it was quite a organical progression, really, right?
Yeah, it was, yeah. And I just had a lot of contacts with families and children because I was already in the education sector, and I was running a lot of after-school extracurricular clubs. I was working with the Carmarthenshire Football Association. I'd already been previously working with the Llanelli Schools Rugby Club under 11s. So I just felt as if just knew a lot of people and had access to a lot of people's databases. And obviously social media plays such an integral part these days that, we just had a good, strong following on that. And I just thought, well, yeah, why not really?
Absolutely, definitely. So you secured a 100k loan through BCRS, who are part of the investment fund for Wales. So talk us through that journey and how that all came about.
Right then, so it started off really with the one in Carmarthen, and then after the one in Carmarthen, a couple of years later, I opened a smaller one up in Sgiliau, so a town about 20 minutes up from where we live. And I've got a cafe associated with that one as well. So cafe serving nice breakfast, brunches, lunches. And then the Sgiliau is designed for babies and toddlers to keep the cafe busy during the week. And then obviously we facilitate birthday parties and what have you on weekends. And then, this opportunity came to take over an unit in Llanelli, and again, being around the sort of children's entertainment market, there was I felt the gap, or I felt there was a gap in Llanelli. There was a few there, but they were targeting maybe different audiences, and I just thought that there was a good opportunity here if it was done properly and if it was done the right way. Llanelli's got 4 times the population of Carmarthen, which is significant in itself, and we're only quarter of an hour, 20 minutes from Swansea, which again has a population of nearly 250,000. So you're going into a much larger demographic, and obviously there's children everywhere, people who will always need birthday parties. But it was about, again, once we'd secured the unit, it was about nailing the detail then and trying to get the right features that would be suited for the children and families that we'd be targeting. So yeah, I did end up borrowing 100,000, and I'm still really happy that when I was able to, and to decided to go for it, because yes, it is a significant amount of money, but it just enabled us to get really cool lighting and special effects and just nice LEDs hanging from everywhere, and it does create that wow factor. And children come in and they're like, oh wow. And it's we know what children are like. You give them a puddle, they'll go and jump in it. Yeah. And you can, there's only so many slides and so many features you can have, but creating this space that was really sensory for them, it does create a different feeling inside them. And we still have children now. We're really lucky of our repeat custom base, a lot of regular customers. And I'm not saying it's just because of the lighting, but I think we're sector leading in that sense. You look around any other soft play centre in South and West Wales, there's no one providing that sort of sensory feeling on a big scale that we've got it. And that's what's quite rewarding, is that you've invested in a certain feature and you're getting that feedback from parents and obviously the children.
Well, you're invested in the community, essentially.
That's it, exactly. Right? Yeah, exactly. And, it's the community that keeps us going, isn't it?
Absolutely.
And in terms of us being able to provide employment to the community, and then, schools, nurseries, we've got various group with children with additional needs, and it's turning into a real hub, but we've got this in Carmarthen as well, that wasn't going to be a shock. And that's what our aim is then as staff, is just to develop relationships and to have great communication channels with the community, and that, we do serve as a hub and a meeting place for the families of Carmarthenshire.
Oh, that's wonderful. So has there been any really significant learning moments for you?
I'd say since my time in business, the main it's a feeling that always comes back to me, is that there's never really a right time.
Yeah.
But on the flip side of that as well, there's never really a wrong time. If you wait for, for you to save a certain amount, or for this to come along, or for a certain period in your maybe personal life to pass through, you'll just end up waiting and waiting and waiting. I think sometimes you've just got to go with the feeling, and try and make the ducks line up as you get closer towards it.
Definitely. And would you be going for funding again in the near future? Do you feel more confident around that now? Like you could do this again?
I do. Yeah. And, one thing, Nikki, who was my representative with the British Bank, she was brilliant. And it's not a case of, computer says yes or computer says no. She came out to see me. She wanted to learn about me. She wanted to learn about the business. She wanted to see what we could provide the community. And, as soon as she had decided that we were potential for borrowing, she made everything possible for it to happen. And I'm really grateful to her and the team for their support in that process.
Amazing. So if you were to go back in time and have someone to come to you and say, right, just remember this, what would that thing be?
I think you've got to really enjoy what you're doing. You've got to have a passion for it, because it is a hard life. People think entrepreneurs or people have businesses that they're loaded and they got loads of money, and it's not the case. There's so many outgoings now that that people get drowned up by. And there's your phone will ring or your email will go when you don't want it to go. But it's part of your responsibility and role to obviously deal with the challenges and obstacles as the day arise. But you've got to, for me anyway, I just try and enjoy and embrace the journey and not sort of focus too much on the end goal, but just to enjoy the part, the building of it and the relationships you can build, not just with your customers, but even with staff as well, that, they're such an integral part of this process as well. And it's, we'd be nothing without our staff, would we? So it's one of the main things I enjoy about it is, the relationships you can develop. And I'm in a fortunate position where I hope that I can inspire and lead the team. And then you rely on the staff then to go and to give a real hospitable experience for the children and the parents then in the play centres.
Absolutely. Well, it sounds like you're a fantastic role model as well within the community and with your staff. So hats off to you. That's brilliant. It's amazing. So tell us, Steffan, what is the next steps? What you're planning next?
For me at the moment, I've got a few little bits that I'm working on personally. I'm setting up a fitness event with another business partner. But then in terms of lining it up with Sgiliau and the play centres, we're just having a period of consolidation actually. And we've got a target at the moment everywhere of just really focusing on customer experience. We know that times are hard on everyone, and we just need to really value and appreciate everyone coming through the doors. They're especially parents, they're choosing to spend their time and money with us. And it's just, I feel it's our responsibility then just to be grateful and to show appreciation of this. And just small gestures here and there can make the world of difference to that child or to that parent. So we're just really trying to focus in now and to have a buy-in from a collective staff and just to have consistency, not just within one centre, but within all three.
Okay, so where can people go to find out more about Sgiliau then?
So we've got a website, sgiliauplaycentre.co.uk, and then there's the 3 different sites then are broken up on that website, and obviously we're on the Facebook and Instagram as well.
Lovely. Thank you so much, Steffan. So lovely to meet you, and good luck with everything. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you very much.
So that was a fantastic example of how targeted early stage finance can unlock opportunities for practical community-focused businesses. If you're building something similar and looking for the right type of funding to move you forward, you'll want to hear all about the investment fund for Wales. Jessica from the British Business Bank is here to explain how the fund is supporting businesses across Wales, including Sgiliau, with tailored finance options to help turn ambition into action.
The Investment Fund for Wales is increasing the supply and diversity of early stage finance for Welsh smaller businesses, providing funds to firms that might otherwise not receive investment and help to break down barriers in access to finance. The fund operates in a commercially sustainable way and will deliver a commitment of £130 million of funding through investment strategies across Wales. The £130 million is broken down into sub-funds, smaller loans of £25,000 to £100,000 delivered by BCRS Loans, larger loans of £100,000 to £25 million delivered by FW Capital, and equity cheques of up to £5 million delivered by the Foresight Group. Sgiliau was a recipient of the BCRS Smaller Loan Sub-Fund and is a fantastic example of a business using the finance to cash flow a new project. The Smaller Loans Fund can support entrepreneurs wishing to start their own business or an early stage or more established small business looking to grow who might find it difficult obtaining the finance needed. So if you fall into one of those categories, take a look at the British Business Bank website to find out more.
So that's it for this episode of How They Funded It. If you found it useful, follow the show or share with someone else looking to grow their business. Join us next time for another inspiring story and another route to funding success.